Today I want to talk about how you can meet a woman online in the Philippines for free. I get tons and tons of emails almost every day from guys asking, well, how can I meet someone before I actually head over to the Philippines? And there are a few options, but for this particular example, I'm going to talk about Craigslist. I'm sure most of you have heard of it. Most of you probably have used it. So for this particular example, when I go to Craigslist.com, because I live in Northern California, by default it brings up the San Francisco Bay Area page. And but again, we want to look for someone in the Philippines, so we need to go to the Philippines section in Craigslist. And in order to do so, we have to go to the very bottom. I shouldn't say the very bottom, but off to the right, in very small text, you'll see a link that says CL Worldwide. Let's go ahead and click on that link. And when you do, it brings up a list of continents in the world, and one of the continents that we see is Asia. Let's click on Asia, and it brings up a new list, and within this list you'll see Philippines. So let's go ahead and click on Philippines, and when you do that, it takes you to a page, and they list a bunch of regions and cities in the Philippines. Now these are some of the major cities in the Philippines. So for this particular example, I'm just going to assume that we're going to Manila, so I'm going to hit Manila. And obviously if you're going to a different destination, you would click on that region. But again, for this example, I'm just going to assume we're going to Manila. And it actually looks like the page that we end up going to, it actually looks like the page that I was on earlier in the beginning of this video. The only difference that you'll really notice is, instead of saying San Francisco Bay Area, it now says Manila. Okay, so this is where we want to be. We're now in the Philippines section of Craigslist. So from here we want to go down to the personal section and click on women seeking men, and it brings us to a disclaimer page that Craigslist has. If and when you decide to use Craigslist, I highly suggest that you do read it, but I'm just going to assume that we have read it for this example and continue on. So again, I'm going to click on women seeking men, and here we are. This is the personal page. This is the personal page of the Philippines, where women are seeking men. I personally like to see personal ads with pictures, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this little checkbox at the very top where it says has image. And one thing I should also mention is these personal ads are in order by date. Up top is the most recent, and as you scroll down, the ads get older and older. So you want to go back up, because we wouldn't see the most recent ads that's been posted. Okay, but make sure you click on this checkbox that says has image, because we're going to do a search. Okay, again, I personally like to do a search for all personal ads that has pictures. I don't like to look at personal ads that doesn't have images. They must have pictures. Okay, and I like to click on search. But also, one thing I should point out though is if you guys want to do a more particular search, in here you can do a search for a certain type of girl. I don't know, let's say for instance you're looking for a dancer, right? Type in dancer, and over here you can either do the search just within the title or entire post. Entire post meaning it's going to look for that word dancer, not only in the title but in the actual personal ad itself. And if you want to do a age search, you can also do search within a specific age range, like for instance 18 to 35. Okay, and then you would obviously hit search. Excuse me, I'm not going to do that though. Okay, I'm just going to do a search for personal ads with pictures. That's all I want. Okay, so I'm going to click on search here, and now it brings up all the personal ads that's been listed. Obviously, with the more recent one at the very top. So let's go ahead and click on that. This one, the title is called Long-Term Relationship, and so let's go ahead and click on that. And that's pretty much it. This is the personal ad. Here she has a picture. She has some few things to say here. Now if you want to respond to this posting, obviously you would click on this button that says reply to this post. Because Craigslist wants to know that you're an actual human being, you need to type in the words that they have posted here in order to respond to this particular personal ad. But one thing I should mention is be very careful about certain ads, like this particular one, where they don't show their face, because to me, when I see an ad like this, they're hiding something, and so I get a little skeptical about ads like this. So be very careful. And also be careful about ads. This is actually a really good ad. This particular person posted a few pictures of herself. They're very decent pictures. But be careful about certain ads where they have very small pictures like this. Again, it's not very clear. It almost seems like they're hiding something. Okay, be careful about ads with small pictures. Again, here's another example. A very small picture. I mean, I can clearly see the person, but I can't really tell what she looks like. And not only that, in the picture, she's wearing sunglasses, so clearly she's hiding her face. Again, I'm very skeptical. So that's pretty much, again, another example of a skeptical ad. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they look like. But this is pretty much how you do a search online to meet women in the Philippines. But again, be careful. Make sure that they have pictures of themselves. Make sure that the pictures are clear. And happy hunting.